This is the quick tour for the 2022 Forest River Sunseeker 2500 TS. The front tires should be filled to 75 psi in the front and 80 in the rear. We have the little side camera there that is blinker activated. That's the keys for the entry door handles. There's two sets of keys. The entry door keys are the black oval shaped keys. You have these two little gray, light gray colored keys. They're for this little safe that's in the step. The little CH751 keys are for the storage compartment keys. The flat side of the key goes on the bubble side of the lock. You have the forward ignition key, and then the lock, unlock, and panic button on the remote here for the cab. The two house batteries are inside the step. The batteries charge when you're plugged into shore power from the generator, when the engine is running, and from the solar panels. So that's the solar panels controller there. I'll get back to that. The battery switch has to be in the on position to charge, or in the third position at the actuator on down there. Okay, so when it's switched to the off side, and the arrow is here, the batteries will not charge, and you cannot use them. You have a furnace duct. The two red light switches are for the outside lights. You have the awning strip lighting and the patio light. Extend and retract is for the awning. So you'll press extend until you see the aluminum tube roll on the end. It does have hydraulic arms that you can lightly pull down. There's a sticker on it, so you just gently pull down and you can bring them back in with the button, or you can adjust the arms back out. And that's just if you wanted to tilt it down for a rainfall. This is a motion light that runs on 12 volt. Right now the clicking you're hearing is the solar panel, so it is attempting to charge here in the shop. So to give you some specs about how full it is and the voltage and the temperature. The leveling jacks, so you just press power and then you can press auto level in the top. It does have a list of things here just to make sure that they're all is needed. So you make sure that you have full voltage before you run the jacks. So if you didn't, you'd want to run the generator. You can't have the ignition running, but the parking brake has to be on, and the excess slope, it would not want to put the jacks down if the slope was too severe. To run the jacks down in manual, you press the arrow down as needed. So you operate the jacks down in pairs, press the front down arrow until they touch, and then rear until they touch, and then you can press two buttons at a time to adjust as necessary. For example, front, right, until they touch. The red lights turn on as the jacks are going down. And all retract there is to bring the jacks all back up. Otherwise, you can independently use the arrow up button to get them to retract if you're trying to get it to a level position. There's a fuse breaker panel at the entry door here. And there's also the Safe Ride roadside assistance phone number in the door sill. So you just have power outlet there, the water heater. It does have the plug if you're wanting to drain it, and the gas tag, and there's some instructions for the water heater there as well. The outside TV, the propane tank. So again, where the yellow cap is where the gas technician will fill the tank. You have your level reading there on the gauge. It's at full, and just needs just over a full rotation on open to use the tank. The back end of the furnace. So just in this compartment here, you have the airbag suspension with the cap there. So you'll want to check the airbags when you check the tires. We set them to 80 psi, so those are for like 400 series highways. You can set them to 30 or 40 psi if you're going to be on rough roads. In this little hatch here, you have the water filter access. Right now it's filled up with antifreeze. You can put the water filter in there when you're going to be using it for the summer. And the white hose that's coiled up is connected to a water pump. So if you remove the white cap on the end of the hose, it will suck up the antifreeze to pump it throughout the unit. You can see the bottom of the black the black and the gray tanks. So they run across the width of the unit. The blue line there is for the black tank flush, so that will put water through the tank to rinse it out. And you can see one of the furnace ducts there. Okay. So your pass-through storage, the blindside radar, have your propane connection there for a barbecue or a propane appliance, 7,500 pound hitch, 7-pin connector, the spare tire is mounted up underneath, coax cable inlet there for park you go to has cable TV, backup camera is a wide angle. Okay, your freshwater fill. So this one we do find it can be easier if you have like a sprayer head on a garden hose to get it down into the fresh tank, or to use a cutoff end of a water hose to get down in there. The other side of the pass-through compartment, the power cable is fixed, it's not removable. Inside the dump station compartment, you have your black and gray poles, outside shower. The white cutout there is to put your sewer hose through, and the water hose for the city water connection at the campground. And the white tag there is for the black tank flush. So you can have the black tank valve open when connected to the sewer outlet and put a water hose on in that order, and it will flush out the tank. There is a little light there, just that little clear piece, and then another airbag suspension fill off to the right. There is a light there, just like the patio light. It's called driver's side rear light on the control panel inside. Gas fill is on the driver's side, a couple smaller storage compartments, the compartment underneath the dinette, and the generator. So the generator fill siphon, I guess, is set at a quarter of the gas tank for the motorhome. So once you hit below, the generator will shut off. You can start the generator from inside or from the generator itself here. It does have a rocker switch with the red light on it, so prime side for a few seconds until the red light turns on, and then on the start side for up to 10 seconds. There is a little breaker switch just around the corner there, and if you notice the generator is running but not providing any power, that could be it. And the yellow cap is the oil fill for the generator. And the other side camera there, and the exhaust for the generator. So just in the driver door, it does have the fill levels for the tires. You have your power seat adjustment here and the tilt for the back. Up underneath the middle of the seat, you will find the emergency start switch. So you just want to make sure that you have the battery disconnect on at the entry door and that the battery is in full condition. If it's not, you want to run the generator to get that powered up. So then you will use this little button underneath here, while at the same time turning the key over in the ignition, and that will start up the engine using the house batteries. So that's in a scenario where like the headlights got left on all night, something like that, with the engine batteries gone flat. So you do have automatic headlights there. If you use that setting, then they will stay on. And the mirrors controlling. So you have your controls here, press it to the side, use the arrows. The red switch is for heat only. So right now the mirror heat is on off. If you need to defrost them, that's when you'd use on. Okay, so we'll come back around to the cab. So just heading inside the house, on the left side of the dinette, you have a few things here. So the black Forest River pack will be inside here. The white wrench is for the water filter housing, and the water filter is beside it. The privacy curtain is the fabric piece there, so it has Velcro on it. The Velcro attaches to these little black circles that go around the cab. Right. So inside the Forest River pack are all of the manuals for each appliance or system, and for the Ford cab. These are all the TV remotes. So you have the bedroom TV remote, outside TV remote, bedroom TV remote, living room TV, the stereo over the entry door, and then the stereo in the cab. So you've got the TV station on there. Before you start driving, you want to make sure the TV is in the fixed position. So these little screw knobs want to be tightened. That way the TV doesn't swing around as like every turn you make. There also is an adjustment on the TV for it to swivel from there. So you want to make sure that that is locked in place as well. We'll just clip backwards, just like that. Okay, so the stereo over the entry door. It has 3 speaker settings. Okay, so I'm just going to turn the volume up here. Okay, so that's for A in the kitchen. Alright, so I'm going to turn that off, and then B is right above us, and C are on the awning speakers. So those are just 3 A, B, and C speaker settings there. You can use the tuner there and volume settings. It does have a Bluetooth option as well, so you can use your phone or iPod as a music controller. And just inside this cabinet is the power for the antenna. So there's a tiny little button back in there. If you press that, it is the power supply for the TV and radio channels. If you're storing something in there and the button gets pressed, or you're wanting to conserve battery power, that you just want to press this little button that's to the left of the coax cable there. Okay, and up above is if you want to add like a satellite, PVR, Blu-ray player, that sort of thing. There's a coax inlet and a power supply and an HDMI cable, so it's already wired up to this TV here. Okay. And just show you the bedroom TV. So it is on a swivel mount as well. Alright, so continuing, the control panel is beside the pantry. So you have all your level indicators. Okay, so we're winterized right now. It does have a voltmeter. Okay. The generator, so it starts up the same as outside. So you want to prime it first for a few seconds until the red light turns on, and then hold it on the start side for up to 10 seconds. If it doesn't start up right away, wait 1 minute, come back to it, and restart that again. Okay. So the water heater is electric or propane, or a combination of the two. If you have both available, that's how you'll get the fastest hot water. The water pump switch is here. So just want to make sure that that is off when the vehicle's in motion. So that runs on 12 volt power only. The Arctic package has the 12 volt heating pads on the holding tanks. Turn it on below 10 degrees Celsius, and it's rated for -10, and it will turn on as it needs to and off once it has warmed up, and they run on 12 volt power as well. So you have light switches for in the living room and kitchen. The slide out control is for this living room slide here, and the driver's side rear light is for the light over the dump station. The slide room operation is just a notice there, so the engine has to be running, and the key ignition, and the parking brake has to be set. This here wrong. The engine has to be off, but the parking brake does have to be on. The thermostat is how you're going to operate your AC and furnace. Okay, so there's your fan speeds, and that's how to set for AC and for furnace. Okay, and just keep pressing mode, and it will cycle back off again. And carbon monoxide detectors, the oval shaped piece down near the floor there. It does run on battery power. If the battery was very low for some reason, it would alarm. So you have the stove here. Make sure you have the glass back before you turn the burners on. It does have this blue light here that has to be on to be able to operate the knobs, and then just press and hold them. Convection oven, you'll want to set your temperature and press the convection button. For the fridge, it has the travel lock, so right now it's ready for the road. So you can open it, and it would go in that position when you're wanting to defrost the fridge after you're finished your trip. It's a pretty simple operation. Press and hold for 10 seconds if you want to turn off the fridge. It's got its temperature settings there, and then the freezer is just cold and colder. And again, that just runs on battery. So whenever the battery's on, the fridge will automatically turn on. So you'll have to press and hold that button to turn it off if you don't want to have the fridge running. While I'm in the kitchen, so there's an outlet there. The GFI is in the bathroom for all of the outlets. So just in the corner there. The back end of the water heater is where these 4 screws are on this false panel. So right now it's in winterized mode. The 3 valves will need to be switched over the opposite direction to accept water. And then that's the back end of the furnace on that side. Okay, so yeah, medicine cabinet. Again, the GFI is in the corner. Simple foot flush toilet, motion light, shower, the fan. There's just only the one fantastic fan with roof cover, and that's near the bunk area. At the foot of the bed, there's a couple storage doors and the breaker panel. This is the swivel seat, booster seat there. For making the bed, you just gently press the mattress backwards towards the slide, and that's how it's made. When you're operating these slides, you want to make sure that the wardrobe slide goes out first, either the living room slide or the wardrobe slide, before you put the bed slide out. They come in very close together, so we just find it makes it a little more room to put the wardrobe slide out before the bedroom. When you bring it in, bring the bed slide in, and then the wardrobe. Alright, so those are the switches for the slides there, and bedroom light switch. Okay. And for the cab, we'll grab the keys. To operate the swivel seat, to have it spinning around facing the living room, you want to pull the yellow boot out on a 45-degree angle towards the living room, and then it will spin from that position. You just want to make sure the seat is not tilted back too far, or it will catch on the door. And to put it back in place before you drive, you want to face the front and then slide it back on the 45. All right. So just turn the key over to accessory mode, so we can see the brake light is on for the emergency or parking brake. Alright. So the radio here, this is the home screen, has the radio function. You can press and hold. You can press and hold to save the preset. There we go. It's the Sirius XM, so the radio itself is ready, but it doesn't have the tuner and antenna installed. It's got Bluetooth audio, so if you had Sirius XM on your phone, you can use that setting instead. It's got the phone, and the microphone is just up in the top corner. Backup camera, so we're just going to see the shop door. If I turn the blinker on, that's underneath the living room slide, and that's the entry door since the door is open right now. And then you have settings there to pair your phone by Bluetooth. So your vents, climate controls, yield or flashers, USB charging points, and USB to plug in for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You have a 12-volt port and the traction control you can turn off if you needed to in a situation. The blind spot monitors are the little circles on the pillars. So right there, they will light up if a vehicle is beside you, and they will beep if a vehicle is beside you and your blinker is on. Cruise control is on the steering wheel, and that's about it. So if you have any further questions, just reach out and let us know, and we're happy to help.